Brown on Sean TV, March 26, 2025. How you guys doing? Today's topic is we traded wisdom for youth, and for the mindset of the youth, and for money. Now, what do I mean when I say we traded wisdom for you? It's the money. See, when you're young, all you want is the money. All you want is money, and intercourse. Unless you have been properly trained to think a certain way, and even then, you still got to fight that demon. But what I mean is, most other cultures, I'm talking about black folks when I say we traded wisdom for you. Most other cultures, they're rolling with the times and they're adjusting to the times, but they're not abandoning the old ways to do so. We hate our lives so much that we were trying to get away, that it seemed like black folks, and I just say we, if it don't apply to you individually, it don't apply to you. So there's, okay. But if you're honest about what you're looking at, it's true. But I mean, if you want to lie to yourself, go ahead. That's not my problem. We had people with a lot of skills, work ethic, ingenuity, creativity, all that. But we hated what we were coming out of so much, the real oppression and the manufactured propaganda appearance of oppression had pushed us so far away from everything that we used to be. We don't have any more. We've lost it. Now it's like a bunch of kids running around. Even in some of the adults, and just the conversations that we're having. I got to come here to talk about real things that's on my mind, because you really can't have too many conversations with too many people, unless if the people that you probably can talk like that. I'm just a regular old guy. Most people that's thinking wouldn't even think I was thinking about nothing if they just saw me based off my appearance. Or probably just where I'm at based on my economic status. But we gave all that up. We had guys that built houses and did concrete and carpentry and all that. Now, I'm not saying we don't have people that do it, but it's not as much as we used to be. And we connected work to slavery. Anything that got to do with hard work, I ain't no slave. That's pretty much how we think. But we've lost because of that. We're losing in the grand scheme of things because of that, in my opinion. Look at the mind frame of people. You got people my age trying to talk like the youth, trying to keep up with what the youth doing instead of leading the way, making them realize that none of that stuff really matters for real. Your slang and your fashion, or how many chains you got. We too busy trying to do what they doing. That's what I mean. We didn't want to be the older group of people who, because we connected everything they did to oppression. Oh, they ain't got no money. Well, what we've done is sold our skills and everything for money. Yeah, you got the money, but now the youth got the money, but they ain't got no wisdom about life. That's why they killing each other every day, because they're not talking to nobody older than them. If you ain't got the money, look at me. I got a white t-shirt on and some jeans, and I got cornrows in my head. I ain't got no jewelry on. I ain't even got no tattoos or none of that. So I don't even look like nothing that a lot of these young dudes that's out here kind of walking the wrong path can relate to. They ain't gonna listen. It's hard for me to get to them. It would be hard for a guy like me to get to them, and I ain't got the money. So if they got the money, what I need to listen to you for, old dude? You ain't got no money. That's the first thing you broke. Or you ain't got. I got this, or I got this much and you only got that much. We sold it. But you can't buy life experience. You cannot buy it. You can have all the money in the world, but if you ain't been through nothing, when you start going through something, you ain't gonna be able to buy your way out of every problem. You ain't gonna be able to buy your way out of every situation. But our youth, and even some of us adults, are thinking that everything is about, if you can buy your way out of everything, you can pay your way out. You can't do that. And some things you can't. A lot of things you can. And that's why I said to disconnect. We got a real disconnection because we sold it. We sold the connection. It's like you signed a contract and you sold your rights to your music, or you sold your jersey sale rights or whatever. I mean, your sales from your jersey if you're an athlete. It's the same thing. We sold that. We gave it away. Yeah, we got money. Yeah, the youth get making money, but what did you give up for it? And don't nobody, but it's the money, right? Okay, but nobody else selling their sales like that. We that desperate. We willing to sell ourselves. And the other people that will sell themselves, but they're not gonna sell their culture. They're not gonna sell the old ways, as probably the Italians would say. You know, we sold the old ways. We don't want nothing to do with the old ways because we think that's just the worst. But them people were better than us. They were more morally upstanding than us. They were stronger than us in every way that you could possibly imagine. Smarter than us, probably in every way you could possibly imagine, except for maybe book smarts. But they didn't need the book smarts because they had the smarts that we don't have. So they didn't necessarily need that. Well, but they wanted us to have it because they did suffer real oppression. But we let that oppression, and this part of the old folks too, because they that oppression made them want to get so far away from it that anything that was resembled that they didn't want their children to experience. So they fought their whole life trying to, but the Hispanics don't do that. They kids might have iPads and tablets, but they out there painting and doing construction too. We didn't do that. Most of us, as you can see, I'm talking about on a wide scale. You can see it's not there. So we hurting because of that. We sold it off. We gave it up, and we're suffering because of it. And now I can't teach, I or us of this of my generation. We can't teach them what we know. They can't teach us what we know because nobody wants to be connected because I can't understand you, and you can't understand me. Then not to mention all the residue of just hatred of, all the years of fatherless homes, motherless homes, whatever the hell whatever you have going on, in family fighting, add all that to it. Now I got money. All you got is a bunch of young people who really hate their own self with money, with the money and power through the money to oppress themselves and those before them. Brian Armstrong TV, I'm out.